So preseason 2022 changes. Aiden, can you guide us through this dark and scary time that is the preseason?
So their preseason video is an 11-minute fucking gargantuan video. It's broken into a bunch of sections. The first section titled New Champion Balance, which a lot of people are having problem with because I think their very first statement in the video, I should put on the captions, is that they think that their recent releases have all been pretty balanced and not had overloaded kits. Overall, they think that they've.
I remember seeing that. Maybe I did watch this.
And then, like, immediately after their statement is that characters like Samira released with overloaded kits, like being able to dash to allies, but they've pulled those back. Which I think both those statements can exist. Just to let you know, I'm not one of those people that's like, you said this. How can you say that? Because I think what they mean is that overall they do a really good job of, in their minds, keeping character kits balanced. But in the cases where they haven't, Irelia, for example, or Samira this year, they've managed to pull them back to what they feel like is a balanced state, which I think is a fine way to look at the game, or look at their balance philosophy. But either way, they've talked about that. They think overall it's going to go well, and they're hoping to keep more characters like balanced and like a fun for the game. Next is the preseason items and runes. They talk about how they're going to be adding like those new mythics and stuff that we talked about. Sounds pretty fun for the most part. I don't really know how those will play out. Not really like a ton of talk about. They also talk about preseason bounties. Season 2022 bounties, which are going to be objective bounties, meaning when you're behind, you can come back into the game with a bounty for taking a Baron, taking a turret, whatever. And these are going to be like, I think overall this is actually like really, really good. I think that as long as it's tuned correctly, this will be the best bounty system they've introduced. I think minion bounties are a little bit fucking schwacky. Kill bounties make sense. I think objective bounties will make a ton of sense, because not only is it like a team objective that you're doing together to come back into the game, but also it fucking actually introduces more like combat, more fighting into the game. If your wave coming back into the game is getting Baron, guess what? You're fucking fighting for that Baron. Like, I think it's going to be way more interesting than like minion bounties.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like it more than minion bounties. It still seems a little weird, mainly just coming from the position of it being kill bounties only for like the first 8 years that I played this game.
Yeah.
But like, when I was streaming last night, there was a game when I was like 1-4, but had like a 300 gold bounty from minions, and I was just like that feels bad. Just shut me down and put me to 1-5. What?
So I mean,
I think it makes sense for the game. I just think it's like frustrating to play as. I think.
I that's kind of where I'm at. I want to hold off on judgment for objective bounties. My gut says, ew, I don't like this, but I also don't like most changes that I like, systematic changes that they make to the game. I would say, I think I have a history of kind of overreacting to some changes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Scuttle
and
bust.
Herald, by the way.
Herald,
to this day, I still think players use it in such a dog shit manner.
Yeah.
It's still wild that there are some Shellys that don't get turrets.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. Or don't get a single charge off. Anyway, so I'll hold off judgment, and this guy won't fall quite yet. But I'm actually a fan of the minion bounties. I think it makes sense for like certain, if you're farming really well, maybe you're not getting a lot of kills, but you still have such a large gold lead on what the average game or what the average game member has, that I think it makes sense.
Yeah, from a gameplay perspective, it makes sense because you have more gold. You should be able to do more with it. And I understand, but like, it just feels like bad that like, oh, I'm literally 0-0-0, and they get 500 gold for killing me.
It does.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Nick. It is a good like thing from a balance point of view, and I think in isolation, it makes a lot more sense where it's like, if you are one-on-one in a lane and you're both 0-0-0, but you got like 2 plates and you're up 40 CS, it's like, okay, yeah. You are crushing that lane, and giving you a bounty does kind of make sense. But it's those weird situations, like in my case, where I died several times early game and then just like played super safe, split and farmed. It's like I was 1-4 with a 300 gold bounty, and it's like I don't even have really assists. Like that was the
That makes
weird
sense.
ones
That's
where
frustrating.
it can become that.
Yeah.
I think objective bounties, can. I want to see how it's done. I think the biggest thing is that, like, it needs to be big enough to make it worth fighting for and, like, impactful, but also not so big as to give, like, a free comeback mechanic to teams that are playing poorly, right? Like,
I mostly just hesitate on like doubling down on putting a comeback mechanic on something that already should be a comeback mechanic. If you
getting Baron.
if you get Baron, that's a huge boon for the game and it could help propel your comeback. But should it double dip into the, like, okay, you've taken an objective bounty Baron, so now you get the power of the Baron and the power of the objective. Like, I don't know
going
if
to see
I
that,
like
like, 7,000 gold Baron power play.
Yeah,
that
just from taking it. Like, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. And I'm sure it'll come out, maybe it comes out a little wonky or it comes out perfect, and that'll be great.
Yeah.
But at the end, I'm sure it'll be fine.
When I first realized Baron was like fucking stupid OP as a comeback mechanic was it was an LCK game where the support stole Baron solo. And if you guys don't know, Baron gives XP to your team and then local XP. If you guys don't know.
Oh,
so
I did not.
So it gives 600 XP to every member, which is a lot, by the way. And then it gives 800 XP shared. So if one person last hits it, you just get 1400 XP. So it was a support who was like super under level because there were supports in LCK, and they hit it and they gained 3 levels.
Oh my god!
It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. So then imagine like, let's be extreme, and say we'll just use the 700 gold.
Yeah.
And then there's a 700 gold bounty for the person that last hits it,
plus the 300 gold that like everyone gets, plus like the 25 for the person who last.
Yeah, so you end up with like a little bit more than 1,000 gold, like 1,400 experience. Like, again, in a very extreme case.
Yeah,
and that's a little daunting for getting lucky on a Baron steal.
Yeah, and I think that it's a weird one of those that, like, obviously objective steals are a huge part of the game and like playing jungle.
Yeah,
but I would almost want to see it like not reward you as much for a steal as like a full take, and
you could scale it on damage dealt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the only
team.
way I could think about doing that would be percentage of damage that your team dealt versus their team dealt. And maybe, like, that could mitigate some of the bounty and even, like, potentially gold and experience. Like, I think, right, buff and soul, right, like, points, those are just going to go to the team that gets the last hit. But I could see a world where, like, when the Baron is killed, if one team did 90% of the damage, like, they still get some of the gold and some of the experience, even though they don't get the buff. And, probably they don't get the majority, but maybe they get like half because they did all the work and you just stole it. It's like, cool, you get your buff and you get to steal some of it, but
we'll see it tweaked, I'm sure. But
exactly. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's only for the losing team, correct?
It's fear behind. So
okay,
which means you have to probably be a certain amount of gold behind. Next thing, though, is new dragons. So I think dragons are the best fucking addition to League of Legends in a long time.
I agree.
So they're adding 2 more of them, and they're a little fucking crazy. I'm not sure if you guys have seen. So the first dragon they're adding is the Hex Tech Dragon, which is a dragon that, so the map change. You know how, like, Windsoul adds fucking whatever, what do you want to call it?
Zoomy zones, mountain adds terrain, Infernal takes it away. Ocean gives you more bushes and fruits.
Yeah, this one adds teleports to the map, like teleporters. We don't know how far they're gonna go. The ones they show are they add like they're it's like on Krug, like not Krug, on Wraithwall right here. I don't know where that takes you though. I'm not sure if it takes you to the other side of the map, if it takes you like just like a short little distance, but
oh boy,
if they're big teleporters, it's fucking crazy.
They're gonna add the little they're gonna change the alcove that you just walk through and it brings you to top lane.
Yeah, they look really cool though. I like this idea. I just hope it's not like you literally go from like like red buff takes you to the other red buff or something. Like I hope it's not like that crazy. I'm assuming it won't be, but that would be insane.
I could see like I think a way that they could do it, which could kind of use mechanics that a lot of players are familiar with, is kind of like the turret in Nexus Siege.
Yeah.
Or Nexus Blitz.
Yeah.
Like you walk into the portal and it's like click within the area where you want to go, and then there's like a channel time, so you still get there a lot faster, but there's like a lot of counterplay, and they'll like know you took the turret or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Rek'Sai ult.
Yeah, but anyways, the things that it gives you, like stats-wise, obviously, like Infernal gives you AD and AP. So Hex Tech Drake will give you ability, haste, and attack speed, which I think are cool stats. I think those are really good choices. And the actual soul effect is a chain slow. So your abilities and attack, auto attacks, will have like a static shiv type proc that slows everything in the static shiv like proc.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. I think it's like pretty interesting. The other Drake they're adding is the Chem Tech Drake, which is like an alternate version of the Hex Tech Drake. So when you slay, your team will actually do increased damage when your HP is lower. So lower HP you are, the more damage you do, which is a very unique mechanic. That's going to be like very different on different characters, I think. Like if like Trindamirs and shit like that are going to fucking have a heyday with it. I wonder if a character like Karthus counts as 0 when he's in his death thing. Like that's all.
I believe he does. Based on his HP bar.
Really interesting. So I'm really excited about that. The actual soul effect though is the same thing from the ability draft, not ability draft. What's the league version?
Ultimate Spellbook.
Ultimate Spellbook. It's the same thing. If you die when you have Chem Tech Dragon Soul, you respawn for a couple seconds with like a Scion like passive, and like are able to fight for like those couple seconds.
Oh.
So that's
really interesting.
Wait, that's so hype.
It's probably strong. Like, but
do you get to use your abilities, or is it just bash?
If it works the same way, you get to use your abilities.
They show Ash using ult in the video.
Okay, you just have the death decaying sort of.
Yeah, you're like alive for like 5 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Oh damn, man! I'm just. I can't wait for the fucking hate threads of people being like,
"Oh,
Chem Tech Soul action, unfair, it's unbeatable."
It already is receiving the most hate out of any other dragon. I did know about this one. I didn't know about much other one of the preseason changes.
So
I think it's fine as long as it gives you 100% grievous wounds.
Yeah. So the one thing that's not even the reason why people hate this dragon. So I do think that's like the annoying part about it. I do think like it's a little bit toxic. The main thing people are upset about is that its map effect is it creates camouflage zones on the map.
Ooh, okay.
So there's areas in the map now that you're just perma camouflaged when you're in.
Okay, I don't know how to feel about that.
And it's like pretty big. Like the video, the image they show is like it's around red buff. The map's kind of destroyed like Infernal. Who knows if it's actually going to be destroyed like Infernal in the actual like final version, but it's like the entire area from like top of Krugs to like bottom of Wraith. Like that entire fucking area is like camouflage.
Yeah, so almost like the whole like wind soul like area of effect is now just a camouflage area of effect.
Yeah, so meaning like you have to be near someone to see them. Wards won't see them. Nothing else will see them other than if you're like melee range of them.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man. I understand why people are upset about that one. It is very strange. I think that dragons are the most fun part about the game, and adding more can only lead to positive things, though.
Yeah. My biggest worry about that one in particular is that with how quickly you can trigger the map effect, right? Like if you take a super early first dragon and then second on respawn, you can get that effect by like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like their jungler literally can't be warded against on his camps anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could still ward the camps because you would see like
it functioned like
dying.
Evelyn. Yeah.
But that's just like they have so many paths. I'd be interested to see if they implement any vision changes alongside of it.
Yeah, they might is like and it also could be reduced to a smaller area, so it's not like the entire like jungle or whatever. But I think both those are fucking crazy effects, and I'm just excited. I like crazy shit, man. Like I'm so fucking excited to see this stuff in action. Also, I love the memes about like a Scion getting Chem tank like
with
soul
GA.
with GA with Zillion ult on his team, and just reviving like 4 times in a row and just
that's
beating
insane.
ass.
And the
By
crazy
the-
thing is,
by the
I don't even think that sounds that unlikely.
No.
No, I'm imagining with like the way ability haste is going and some of the items available and like new ultimate hunter or whatever. It's like there's a world in which you start with a Zillion ult, and by the time he's gone through the other 4, Zillion ult is back up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's sick. Either way, I'm really excited about that. They talk a little bit more about the challenges and stuff. So, like, it's going to be challenges tied to, like, oh, I've played X number of ARAMs, or I've done X number of things in ARAMs. It's, like, tons of different things. Like, you can show off these challenge rewards. Like, the reward they mentioned is, like, want to show off your achievement for, like, never dying in ARAM, like, sort of thing. Then you'll have, like, awards for it like that. So, it's just, like, tons of fun, like, goofy stuff to show off. It's always good to have, like, more customization, though. The other things I do want to talk about more tie into the quick game thoughts and the state of game modes. I think we should just jump into like one of those. We'll quickly jump into the quick gameplay thoughts thing really quick though.
Sure.
This one is literally just about the end of the season. They talk about like their autofill and stuff like that. And TLDR, everything is getting better the more changes they make to the game. Which is good. The things that they want to change in next season though is Apex Decay, meaning Master Tier Plus. Turns out it's hard to play a fucking game a day for the entire season if you're in Master Tier. So they're going to figure out that next season. And then the thing that I think a lot of people are going to be upset to see, and I think is not a great thing, is season reset. They say the soft resets we did this year might have been a little too soft. Resets introduced some uncertainty to give players the chance to show their improvement since last year. Not resetting cleanly enough takes away the breathing room for players to showcase their improvement, pushing them into negative LP states very quickly. This year, we want to provide a longer runway for players to really show off their growth since last season and get proper liftoff from the off the start of their climb. We do this by tuning the reset to be stronger. So,
Yeah.
I understand what they mean. It probably they say that it sucks that if a new player says like you're silver 2 or whatever, and you get reset in your silver 3, you climb back to silver 2 immediately and you're at your peak again, and it feels like you can't make any more progress. Sure, that feels bad. You know what feels worse? Hitting a milestone like gold and then getting reset to silver 4 to spend 100 games climbing back to gold.
Yeah.
When you play 150 games in a
that
season.
Fucking runway.
Like, I understand what they mean. I'm sure, like, I understand that, like, that is a not good system, right? Like, you immediately hit your cap and you're capped, like, 2 weeks into the season or whatever. The issue is, the other thing is way worse. Playing 100 out of your 150 total games in the season to just get back to where you want to be. Like, that, I don't know. I'm always been of the mindset.
Imagine
that, like,
having to play like 1,000 games to get back to your rank. That'd be kind of tragic.
Oh no. But like, I don't know. It's just like, fuck, man. Let players fucking get back to where they were last season like quickly so they can actually try to climb if they want to climb. And if they don't want to climb, they don't have to climb.
Yeah, I'm all for a harder reset, I guess. It's just their reasoning seems to be a little weird. Like, it shouldn't be such a journey to get back to where you were the previous season. It should be a journey to get higher or to try to maintain that, to try to improve. Like you were saying, and you shouldn't have to spend, half the season getting back to where you were just to then try to get better and play at the spot you're supposed to be at.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun for the gold players that we're going to go up against who are legitimately gold and like are having to play against master, diamond, platinum players.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't actually expect the reset to be that harsh, but like either way, it's like, I just think the biggest issue is like, I don't know, if you're playing 100 games, like 100 games, like to us doesn't seem like that much, but 100 games is 50 hours of League of Legends plus queue times plus whatever. And that's a lot. That might be what someone has to spend on their season climb of League of Legends, assuming they're playing other game modes and shit, right? Like,
Or
I don't know.
It's 8 hours. I mean, that's 8 hours for a week, right?
yeah, like it took me like probably like 50 or so games to get back to like D2 or D3 or wherever the fuck I ended last season. That's still a good amount of time. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's like I personally think the higher elo you get, the harder the reset should be, and the lower elo you are, the less hard it should be. Like if you're a fucking silver player, you shouldn't get reset almost at all, in my opinion. Like just let these players like play. Like let them try to climb. Let them like not have to spend X number of games getting back to where they are, so they can actually make their push for gold. It just seems so fucking weird. It's so skewed. League is the only fucking game that makes it so hard to hit like their like what they deem as like the ranked reward tier or whatever, right?
Yeah, I actually feel like it like if you're below gold, maybe it should drop you down like one division or one tier. I don't know, like
whatever the fuck.
Silver 4 to or Silver 3 to Silver 4.
Yeah,
and not like Silver to Bronze or anything like that. I don't know, like something very minor to indicate, hey, this is a new season. Good luck. But that's it. You know.
I remember fucking Rick Fox like playing like 200 games that one season, hitting bronze, and then the season ends and he gets Iron 3 or Iron 4 in placements, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
Do it again.
Yeah. Like if I was in that situation, I actually worked like really hard to hit like a goal of mine, like say bronze in this case, and I got reset to like the bottom of the game, I would just not want to play. I would just stop playing ranked.
Yep. There's no reason to. Like it's such a big climb. Yeah.
Cool. The other thing that they quickly mentioned is game modes in that video. So they also put out a dev blog for stated game modes to go alongside it. The TLDR is that, hey, Ultimate Spellbook, you guys really like that, so we're bringing it back. And they're going to bring back like at least 20 new Ultimate spells to add to it, because their only feedback was that the more you play of it, the more you realize that there's only X number of alts that are worth taking. So it kind of limited your pool. And they also like said that like it apparently was a nightmare if like you tried to jungle, because what your only spell was smite, because you needed to smite to jungle. So they're going to fix that as well, which is cool. Sweet. They do a quick rundown of all the other game modes. So
I think we should talk about them all like pretty quickly.
Yeah, of course. One for All Earth and AERF. These are all going to come back because they're all seen as like pretty good game modes. Nexus Blitz will also come back sometime in 2022. Odyssey and other PvE game modes like Star Guardians Invasions aren't going to come back because they're just not worth the fucking time that it takes to make them. Makes sense. Ascension, Black Market Brawlers, Darkstar Singularity, definitely not Dominion, Legend of the Portal King, Nexus Siege, and Project Overcharged all are not coming back as of right now, because apparently they have to put in like a lot of work to like update and upkeep these games to make them work as like patches go. So they just don't think they're worth it. Snowdown Showdown, not going to happen. They don't think competitive like 2v2 and 1v1 modes are worth it, especially with queue times, because it can be like a 3-minute game for like a 10-minute queue.
Also, I cannot believe that the snowball they referenced was in Froggen taking the snowball to double his space twice was in 2015.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That seems wild to me. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Hunt of the Blood Moon, Hexakill, and Doom bots of Doom. They think that these could be fun in the future. They're like in their like pipeline of like maybe we should like refresh these and make them work better. But currently they don't have plans. But they are in kind of the rotation of like, hey, Hexakill probably would be fun if we brought it back, which is cool. And then Nemesis Draft, they pretty well said,
fucking funny.
This one we're never bringing back. It's the worst thing we've ever thought of. Turns out it's not fun to play a character that's bad. So they learned their lesson there. I think like the reality is, the main thing I was like upset about in this whole dev blog is that they don't talk about custom games at all. I would love to play any of these modes in a custom game, and they just don't even mention it, which is really, really sad to see. But either way, I'm excited. I do like the ultimate spellbook game mode. Hopefully they come up with some new game modes as well to add to their roster.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Again, Riot, hire me. Fucking just combine some of these modes.
Yeah.
Sounds fun as fuck to play one for all ultimate spellbook.
Yeah.